Howdy folks, it's Josh here with Core Sample Media. Got something cool here that I got to test out this weekend. I was lucky enough to pre-order and get in on the first batch of the Paintball Gateway Whisper Drive. This is their bolt valve that they have just put out. Comes in this really cool purple, but if we look compared to a stock valve, there's some pretty big differences here. Mainly the first thing you really notice is going to be this chamber here. They've really widened that out, made a lot of extra space. So, you know, we have these 3 prongs here now. So you're going to see an increase in volume from this valve. But something else that you might notice as well is if you take a closer look, they actually have more porting down here towards the base. That's going to help with extra airflow, hopefully give you more shot consistency. And yeah, so some of the claims that they have for this thing, like I just said, they're expecting a higher amount of flow from this. There's lower operating pressure. It's supposed to be easier on paint. Improved shot consistency, lower sound signature, and efficiency increase. The only things that I got to test this weekend from that are I looked at the sound signature and I looked at the FPS increase due to the increase in volume and lower operating pressure. This thing is only compatible with the EMEC 100, the EMF 100, and the MG 100. It does not fit any of the other Gamma Core based markers. So that includes things like the GTEC/GMEC. That's the OG 160, 170. Doesn't fit any of those. Also isn't going to fit in the Etha3 or the 3M. So only things it's compatible with: EMEC 100, EMF 100, and MG 100. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and hop on into it.
So today we're going to be testing out the Paintball Gateway Whisper Drive. In the EMEC right now is just the stock normal drive. We're going to do a chrono really quick. We're going to do a decibel reading. This is the stock drive in the EMEC bolt. So 288, 281, 281, 276, awesome, and the decibel reading 98, 96.
So with our stock bolt valve, and we saw in the video, our average feet per second was 281.5, and our average decibels. In the video, we only saw the 98 and 96 reading. We also had a 97 and another 98 reading that we unfortunately did not get on video, but that averages out to 97.25. And since we wanted to test the sound signature, we're doing those decibel readings, so we're going to take an updated decibel reading as well. So let's get into that.
All right, so now we have the Paintball Gateway Whisper Drive in. There's a lot less material here, so you should see a increase in volume. 300, 298, 300, 291. I'm going to chrono it back down now to 280. Alright, so that's right about perfect. We hit 279 2 times there, and one outlier at 281. And now for the decibel reading. Right. 93, 94, 94, 93. All right, so that's actually a really big difference from 97 down to 94, 93.
So as you saw in the video, we saw our FPS jump up quite a bit there. Our new FPS average after installing the new valve jumped up to 297.25 without having adjusted or re-chronoing at all, so we didn't mess with the regulator or anything. So just by switching to this new valve, we saw an increase of about 16 feet per second. Now the decibel difference is really interesting to me and really cool, because the average decibel reading with the new drive-in, after rechronoing back down to the same FPS, back down to 280, we got our average of 93.5. Compare that to the average, the old average with the stock valve of 97.25. That means we saw a total decibel difference of about 4 to 5. 5 decibels is considered to be a drastic change in how loud something is. That is because decibels are actually measured on a logarithmic scale, which means that an increase in 10 means that that's going to be 10 times louder. So since we got a 4 to 5 decibel change, that means we're seeing about a 25% decrease in auditory sound, how we are hearing that marker right next to our heads. And that's a pretty big jump. As I say later on in the video, it's actually very noticeable. It honestly feels and sounds really great. The microphone on phones don't really do it justice, and that's because they like to level things out. They don't want any high highs, they don't want any low lows. But in person, it is a dramatic and drastic difference. But let's continue. In person, this is way quieter, way quieter. It feels way smoother. I can tell there's a noticeable difference. It feels really good. If you are interested in one of these, go pick one up at Paintball Gateway. Very much worth it, in my opinion. Yeah, guys, so I mean, final thoughts. This thing rocks, honestly. I cannot see myself shooting my EMAC with anything else in it now. It really does make a huge difference when you are holding it, when you're shooting it. It feels so good. Yeah, highly recommend if you're looking for something to give your EMAC a feel of a softer shot. Definitely quieter. Something I didn't get around to this weekend is doing a efficiency test. That is something that is on my radar, and I am most likely going to be doing next weekend out at the field. So keep an eye out for that video. Before I say goodbye, there's one more thing I'd like to do. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick little disassembly and installation tutorial for anybody who might have bought one of these, anybody who might want to buy one in the future. Just a quick little how to change this out if you are interested in that. Alright, quick little disassembly and installation video for anyone interested. The first thing you want to do is obviously take the bolt out of your marker. You are then going to take your 30 seconds Allen wrench, and you're going to put it right here in the back cap, and you are going to get that bad boy out of there. Excuse my torn up hands, turf burned. You're going to go ahead and pull that out, put that somewhere safe on your mat if you have one. And this back cap is actually just going to go ahead and pop right on off. And you can see, for any of you who don't know, this is actually adjustable depending on how you want to orient your back cap. So let's say that you want it to be facing up, you can put that on in a certain way. But go ahead and take that off. Now that you have the back cap off, you're going to go ahead and unscrew the can, take that off. That's going to take this blue part and the bolt face out. You can just go ahead and set that down. Now this part's important. I like to do this upside down, not with the prop shaft up, because there is a little piston at the end of the spring on this thing that you do not want to lose. So when you pull this valve off, you're going to see on the prop shaft here, there is this little spring and piston, right? You can pull those out and put them somewhere safe in your tech mat, or if you're, wanting to just set it down nice and gently. It'll usually stay in there. So now that you have your stock valve off. You're going to go ahead and grab your Paintball Gateway Whisper Drive valve, and you are going to do that whole process in reverse order. However, before you install this, please lube it up. I already pre-lubed mine, obviously. You saw me shooting it. Also, when you are screwing this in, only hand tight when you're screwing it into your marker, when you're screwing this onto anything on the actual bolt. Only hand tight, because if you notice, they did a really good job of getting this nice and thin, and these little tri-prongs here could be pretty easy to bend, and you don't want to do that. So just be nice and gentle with it. So you're going to go ahead and, oh, almost forgot, one of the most important parts, your switch. Inside your valve, you will find this little guy in here. Quick little shout out, Paintball Gateway also makes their Hellfire switches, which can turn your EMIC full auto. I have one of their 7 to 10 balls per second one. It's really, really fun. But take that switch, drop it on in there where it was in your other valve, and now you're going to do the process in reverse order. So take your prop shaft, take this here, put it back in, upside down so you don't lose that piston and spring, screw that back together. Only hand tight, you don't need to really wrench on it. Take your can and your bolt face back, put that back on there, and then you're going to take your back cap and that Allen again, and that screw, and you're going to put that just right back in there. And you have just installed your Paintball Gateway Whisper Drive valve. Good luck, have fun. Highly recommend this if you want it. Go for it. It's not that expensive. It's a big quality of life change. Super awesome. Go grab this.